Hello.
Hey. I thought you were going to say something else.
No, that was it. Just hello. Hello, everyone.
It was a weak hello. I didn't want to come in on a weak hello after your hello. I wanted to give you a chance to recover.
No, you're co-hosting this show. If I come in with a weak hello, it's incumbent on you to pick up the whole entire show. Not wait for me to fix it.
Sometimes you can let a pause go for a little bit.
That's true. But it goes too long, and once it goes too long, it's too late, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can never get it back.
I didn't know if I should come in straight away with talking about the weather. It's a little cliche, but that is...
But this weather is something else.
This weather, we're in the middle of a large storm right now, which could impact the sound effects.
Yeah, here, let's be quiet real quick. People can hear the rain. Hear that? Maybe we should just not say anything for like the next couple hours and just turn this episode into a natural sounds podcast or whatever for people to fall asleep to.
Ambient sounds.
Yeah, ambient sounds. Here.
Well, oh, wow.
Wait, let's be quiet for the... We're making it work.
Yeah, we might do evil laughs after every big thunderclap.
Man, Alex Jones kicked off MailChimp now. What will this mean for other leftists on MailChimp, though? This vicious, slippery slope. MailChimp came for Alex Jones, and I said nothing.
Well, I noticed that a bunch of leftists are laughing because Alex Jones is kicked off of Facebook, but it could happen to you, too. It already does happen. The kicking off Alex Jones is going to have no bearing on leftists. I don't think leftists have anything to worry about unless they're going around saying that Sandy Hook was fake. I know that the slippery slope argument is very tempting to make.
Yeah.
But come on, people. Come on. You can do better. As I said yesterday, as I said today, make an antitrust argument. Don't flail around like some dipshit like fucking Michael Tracy being like, well, actually, this is bad for everyone.
Well, our people are saying that they can't hear the rain, even though we think it's really loud. You guys had to have heard the thunder at least. Did you hear the thunder?
Did you hear the thunder?
The thunder was pretty loud. Anyways.
We'll wait for a response.
Update on a story from yesterday. Saudi Arabia has officially apologized for threatening to 9/11 Canada.
They claim they weren't threatening to not. They would.
They didn't apologize for that because they weren't doing that.
They said they were depicting the ambassador going back home.
Mm.
And by the way, I think I called it the Air Canada Tower. It's the CN Tower. So I might have been wrong about. I mean, I was wrong about that, but. I don't think the ambassador lives in the CN Tower.
Anyways, people are hearing the thunder. Roy said he heard the thunder. Mark said the thunder was nice. So we'll have more thunder throughout the show. I'm sure that's not the last of the thunder.
It might be. I just checked the AccuWeather. Okay. And that might be the last of the thunder. Except maybe at the end of the show we might get some. Oh wait, there was.
Ooh.
All
right. Let's get the show started before we get swamped. This is District Sentinel Radio, the newscast of record for the left. I'm Sam Sachs.
I'm Sam Knight.
We are broadcasting out of the Internate is Not a Worker Studios in Washington, D.C. Check out the website, districtsentinel.com. It's a rainy day here in D.C. We were just talking about it with our people who are watching the live stream. Patreon.com/District Sentinel, $5 a month. You can watch a live stream of the show. You can hear us talk about the weather.
Well, you might also hear the weather. There's been some pretty vicious thunder, which we've been trying to follow with the evil laugh. So if you hear the thunder, you might hear an evil laugh.
We're just rolling with it here. Unlike the F-22, we work in the rain.
It'd be nice if we didn't have to. If we could just, I don't know, call it off, postpone. Rain delay. Baseball players get the rain delay. Why don't we?
I could get behind a rain delay just because it does affect the audio quality here. Some people might like the rain. We've got some viewers on YouTube who are saying that they like the sound of the rain.
The rain is nice.
But it does affect the sound quality.
But yeah, it does. It does.
So,
speaking of the sound quality, I heard some unquality takes on Twitter.
Go on.
Well, last night, Ian Millhiser tweeted something about how President Obama used to be up very late at night studying policy papers, and that's why, he really misses that, because that always led to such great outcomes, as we know, because here we are under the Trump administration.
This is just also just like Obama fan fiction too.
It is.
Like,
it is.
was Ian Millhouse like in the residential wing of the White House with Obama? Just like in the corner.
I don't know,
notes?
but even if Obama could have been up 20 hours a day reading academic papers, and the outcome was still shit. The outcome was still Trump, and a whole lot of bad things along the way between his first inauguration and Trump's inauguration, and we all fucking know that. So anyway, I just made fun of Ian. And I just got to say, the worst fucking people, some of the worst fucking people online, obviously not the worst people online. I'm doing the hyperbole thing where I'm complaining. Some of the worst people online are just like gravitated toward the Obama defense.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
I've run into that crowd plenty of times.
It's just the,
Similar crowd. You can throw Senator Joe Donnelly into that crowd as well, coming out today saying he thinks abolish ICE is a terrible idea. I guess someone asked him, unfortunately.
He was one of the 3 Dems who voted for the appellate, the 11th Circuit appellate nominee a few weeks ago. What's the point? Why? Why is the Democratic Party a thing?
Yeah.
You don't seem to have any answers for me here. I'm looking for answers.
I don't. I'm just remembering your song from last Sentinel cast. I love Democrats.
One of the weird... I think this is why, just to go back to the Obama fans quickly, it's just... It really annoyed me because it was like this white Canadian person who was like, criticizing a black guy, like, because I'm criticizing the ex-president. You're never allowed to criticize Obama.
Mustn't criticize the ex-president.
Mustn't criticize the president. I'm getting myself worked up here,
right.
But I think some of these people online are bots. the Sally
it has
Albright,
been proven some of these are bots.
The Sally Albright bot army has me thinking that the Democratic Party learned a few things from the last election. One, like Joe Donnelly, be like a Republican. Just basically be a Republican.
Yeah.
Number 2, be like the Russians. Get a lot of bots. Is it just me, or does Twitter... I feel like I sound like a crazy person, but I feel like Twitter is teeming with Democrat bots.
No, there are a lot. There are a lot. And they are targeting us. They're targeting us.
They're interfering 17 intelligence agencies.
Okay. We're going to get to the newscast in a second. As I mentioned off the top of the show, $5 a month on Patreon. You get to do a live stream of the show. You can communicate with us while we're recording. We got Alex here saying the Sam should get in on the asbestos revival. The studio will never catch on fire now. This, of course, related to the Trump administration making moves to allow for asbestos again. Ryan says he would drape himself in asbestos if it were socially acceptable. Alex says getting mesothelioma to own the libs.
Job Creator has logged on to asbestos chat.
Roy asks, how do we know that that is the real Ian Millhouse? Didn't he say that he might get captured by the government or something if he didn't tweet on a daily basis? This is a good question. How do we know that Ian isn't in jail somewhere?
I think Ian, his point was that his tweets would stop if he goes to jail. If he goes to jail, the tweets stop.
Oh.
So...
Well, the tweets haven't stopped.
Exactly. So we should throw that dude in jail.
We got Keister. What's up, Keister? David giving us an update on the baseball game that's going on. Nats up 8-2. Thank you for that,
wow.
David.
Nats have been real hot lately. They have some hot bats on that team.
They must be playing on the road, I'm guessing, right now. Okay. Also, $5 a month to get your own poem read on the air, a haiku, and we're about to read some poems right now. This one is for Austin. Nothing but respect for my U.S. President, LeBron James, the King.
Thank you, Austin. This is for Audient. Invent new swear words. It's time now to innovate. Shit dumpster gump fuck.
Thank you, Audient. This one is for Joshua. Regret to inform, Chatterbait banned Alex Jones. So nude and so red.
Finally, this is for AJ.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you, Joshua. Sorry, I was...
It's all right. You're rushing to get this one out for AJ.
Get this one out for AJ. This is for AJ. Anthony Jr., Gabagool over here now. Bring the ZD2. I'm sorry to Joshua. That's why I was rushing to get that out for AJ.
That's fair. Thank you. Thank you, AJ. Thank you to all our new subscribers on Patreon. It's patreon.com/District Sentinel. It's Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Here's the news.
Republicans claim they take a hard line on immigration because they have a boner for the law. Well, now they want to shut out more documented immigrants, too. According to media reports, the Trump administration would make it harder, if they get their way, would make it harder for foreigners to get naturalized. CNN and NBC News reported that the plan is being spearheaded by beige silly putty egg Stephen Miller, the White House aide with documented sympathies with the far right. The plan centers around a proposed regulation designed to drum up racist class resentment. It would expand the number of public benefits that can count against those applying for citizenship or permanent residency. Surely the fine people who become U.S. immigration officers have no intention of using this capriciously. These reports come the day after Jeff Sessions hit out at a federal judge for ordering the Trump administration to continue accepting DACA applicants. As expected, yesterday evening, the administration appealed the decision.
This is, of course, all about racism. This isn't about protecting the country or securing borders anymore. This is about really freaked out white people in this country who think they're losing some sort of majority or something, and they now have policymakers in charge representing their interests.
Yes, it is racism, and as with most forms of racism, too, very classist, trying to portray the other as some sort of, in England, they would call them benefit scroungers, you know, the Ronald Reagan's classic welfare queens.
The takers.
The welfare queens, the Reagan welfare queens. That's the classic American example.
The FCC's Inspector General released a report Tuesday showing that higher-ups at the commission lied about an alleged cyber attack. You might remember last year that the agency's public comment system went down, and it was alleged by the chairman, Ajit Pai, and others that the failure was due to a cyber attack on the FCC. But the IG found no evidence of such an attack. It found that the failure was due to a large number of people instead using the platform to inform the FCC that they opposed the chairman, IG Pai's plan to repeal net neutrality. That came after TV host John Oliver encouraged people to do so. The IG also blamed design failures on the comments portal itself.
John Oliver destroys the FCC public comment portal.
What's funny is that the FCC was so embarrassed by the possibility of that they were like, no, it was some cyber actor. Anyways, there was no evidence of the attack. Since there was no evidence of the attack, the Inspector General...
False flag!
...investigated whether or not officials lied about the cyber attack. The matter has now been referred to the Department of Justice. IG Pai responded by throwing his chief information officer at the time, David Bray, under the bus, claiming Bray provided him with inaccurate information when he, Pai, testified before Congress on the bullshit cyber attack. Although Pai claims he was misled, the Inspector General noted that pretty much no one at the FCC internally actually thought they were victims of a cyber attack. The event wasn't internally defined as any sort of cyber attack, one, and two, the Department of Homeland Security wasn't notified about it, which would have been standard protocol had a cyber attack happened.
Where's the server? Why haven't they given over the server?
You might remember at the time it was surmised that the FCC was trying to, at first, stop the influx of comments in support of net neutrality, and then delegitimize all those comments by claiming it was a cyber attack. Now it looks like that's exactly what the FCC was doing, trying to delegitimize legitimate comments. I mean, IG Pai, for a number of reasons, this just being the latest, you should fucking resign.
The Trump administration hasn't given up fighting the Time Warner AT&T merger. One thing that they're actually kind of doing well here. Yesterday, the DOJ Antitrust Division delivered some of its arguments in the case before the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. As expected, they claim that allowing the $85 billion deal will pave the way for AT&T to use content as leverage against competitors, fellow cable and internet providers. Brands owned by Time Warner include HBO and CNN. The Antitrust Division also attacked how the merger was upheld by a district judge on process grounds. They criticized Richard Leon's ruling on evidence, including his refusal to admit internal AT&T market analysis and his decision to limit one expert testimony to 2.5 hours. If you don't finish, well, it's too bad, is what Leon told the witness. Government lawyers included the remark in their appeal, as the New York Times noted.
Finally today, in news you won't hear on Chris Hayes' MSNBC show, since it doesn't get ratings or whatever. A new report suggests that the current efforts to curb global warming won't be enough and that the planet is headed for, quote, hothouse conditions. A team of scientists from a number of universities around the world published their findings in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. It predicts that even if the Paris climate deal curbs temperature increases to just below 2 degrees Celsius, as it's designed to do, even if that happens, the planet will still be ravaged by runaway global warming, possibly a 4 to 5 degree temperature increase. That's because of positive feedback loops that, once activated, and many have already been activated, will trigger further warming, like the loss of summer Arctic sea ice, the melting of permafrost in the Arctic, and massive releases of methane that are locked deep down in the ocean. The report drops just as the Mendocino Complex fire in California has exploded in size. It's now the largest wildfire in state history, scorching more than 280,000 acres.
Wow, it really sounds like we could use some eco-socialism.
Yes. Actually, I blame Governor Jerry Brown for diverting all the water that could be used to fight fires back into the Pacific Ocean.
I saw a lot of people from California reference that tweet. That was a tweet that came from
our President
Trump. A lot of people from California referencing it, earnestly asking what he was talking about.
Nobody knows.
No one has any idea what he was talking about.
Nobody has any clue. That is the newscast for today. Before we go, though, let's check on the old listener rant line.
Hey Sam, it's your buddy George Authority calling you. Hey, it's been a while. Hey, listen, I was on the Oregon Trail on my way moving out to Oregon, and well, geez, I don't know how to put this. It's kind of big news. I died of dysentery. So hey, I'm calling you here from beyond the grave. I'm just waiting in line to get into what I assume is heaven. It's kind of warm. And the stairs are poorly designed because they appear to be going down, which is an odd way to travel up if you ask me. Anyways, while I'm waiting in line, I figured I'd just call you guys and say, hey, thanks for doing all that you do. You do such a great job keeping me up to date on the news and stuff. And it was nice having your familiar voices to listen to as I, shivered and vomited. And shit myself, as one tends to do with dysentery. Oh boy, embarrassing way to go, that's for sure. But hey, listen, I'll keep you guys posted on any cool celebs that I happen to run into up here. Anyways, I hope y'all have a nice week. Take care, guys. Bye, boys. Love you.
Wow. George, hadn't heard from him in a while. I guess we know why. He's on that Oregon Trail. If only they would have rested for a few days so that George could have healed. But I guess the wagon had to keep moving.
This is what happens when you ford the river with your oxen.
Did I make this up, or weren't you and Nate just like within the last year got on an Oregon Trail kick and we're playing a lot of Oregon Trail?
Maybe Nate. Not me.
That wasn't you?
Not that I wouldn't. It just wasn't me.
I feel like it was happening in the newsroom, and Nate was getting really excited, but I might have made that part up. That's the show. Call the rant line, 202-684-6108. Sponsors include the Congressional Dish podcast, hosted by Jen Briney. Find it at congressionaldish.com. Another sponsor, levelnews.org. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Tune in by searching for District Sentinel Radio. Give us a review. Give us a rating. Tell your friends to listen. Subscribe on Patreon. Patreon.com/District Sentinel. $5 a month. You get bonus content. You get the live stream. You get your own haiku. And you get to support our little news co-op here in D.C., where we are, so you don't have to be.